Nani, it's story time. Fad, what will you tell us today?
All right, my curious bugs, let me tell you the story of Dhanteras today. Once upon a time, Devs and the Asuras set themselves upon Samudra Manthan with the intention of churning the nectar of immortality, the Amrit, out of the great ocean. During this great event, many invaluable divinities emerged from the great milky ocean. Precious gems, divine jewels, and mystical flora and fauna emerged, along with goddess Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth and fortune. On Dhanteras emerged Lord Dhanvintri, the divine medic, with the Amrit, the nectar of immortality. There ensued a long and tremendous battle between the Devs and the Asuras to gain the Amrit. Ultimately, Devas with the assistance of Vishnu emerged victorious. The Devs took the Amrit with them to the Swarglok or the heaven, while the Asuras were banished into the Patalok or the hell. Till this day we celebrate Dhanteras to commemorate the emergence of Lord Dhanvantri and the Amrit. Bye-bye, kids. To hear more beautiful cultural tales, subscribe to our channel Namaste Nani.
Nani, it's story time. What will you tell us today?
All right, kids, today I will tell you about the second day of Diwali, known as Naraka Chaturdashi or Choti Diwali. Once upon a time, in the mystical realm of ancient India, a demon named Narakasus had cast a dark shadow over the land whose actions terrorized both mortals and the heavens. He was born of the Bhumi Devi, the earth goddess, and had received a boon that he shall be undefeatable by anyone other than his birth giver. Growing arrogant of his boons and powers, Narakasus started traumatizing the earth and the heaven, plundering kingdoms, captivating women, and even overthrowing the king of Swarg, Indra himself. Dethroned from his kingdom, Indra, the master of heaven, prayed to Lord Vishnu for assistance to end this tyranny. Vishnu, taking the form of Krishna, battled against Narkasur. Aware of Narkasur's boon, Krishna fought the battle, serving as the charioteer to his wife Satyabhama, an avatar of the Bhumi Devi. Amidst the mighty battle, Narkasur attacked Lord Krishna, leaving him unconscious. Filled with righteous anger, Satyabhama retaliated with her bow and arrow, which proved to be the end of Narkasur and his reign of terror. As Narkasur lay on the brink of defeat, he humbly asked his mother, Bhudevi's avatar, for a special blessing. He wished to be remembered with joy, not hatred, by the world. His mother, present in the form of Satyabhama, agreed to his request. She declared that the day of his demise should not be a day of mourning, but a day of celebration and joy. Thus, Naraka Chaturdashi or Choti Diwali came to be celebrated to commemorate Lord Krishna's and Satyabhama's victory. Bye-bye, children. Subscribe to our channel Namaste Nani to hear more beautiful tales of culture.
On a good summer evening, kids giggle on the woven mat, eyes wide with anticipation to hear stories.
Today, children, we will hear the story of the Lord Rama and the Golden Deer. Once upon a time, in a glorious kingdom called Ayodhya, lived a prince named Ram, who was the son of King Dashrath and his wife, Queen Kaushalya. But King Dashrath, under the sway of one of his 4 wives, Kaikeyi, ended up sending Ram away from the kingdom to spend 14 years as a forest dweller. His wife, Sita, and brother Lakshman accompanied him to an exile in the forest. One day, a deer came into the same forest, and Lord Ram's wife Sita caught sight of it. It wasn't any ordinary deer, though. It shimmered with gold. Seeing that deer, Sita became very happy, and she wanted to have that deer. Then Sita told her husband Ram that she liked the deer very much and wanted to get it. And so Lord Ram set off after the golden deer, his bow and arrows slung across his back, leaving Sita in Lakshman's care. The deer led Ram deeper and deeper into the forest. He ran and ran, but the deer always stayed just out of reach. When Ram hit the deer with his arrow, he discovered that the golden deer was no ordinary creature. It was actually a powerful demon named Marich, disguised by the evil Ravan to trick Ram and Sita. Then, Marich also cried out in a voice that sounded just like Ram saying, "Help! Lakshman!" So, Lakshman set off after Ram, leaving Sita behind in their little hut. As soon as Lakshman left, Marich had disappeared. Now, with both Ram and Lakshman gone, Sita was all alone. This was just what Ravan had been waiting for. He transformed into a sadhu, a holy man, and approached Sita, pretending to be lost and in need of help. As soon as Sita stepped out to offer him food and water, Ravan revealed his true form and took her away to his island, the kingdom of Lanka. And so began Ram's journey to Lanka, a journey that led to a great battle between good and evil, that with time featured one of the greatest wars our sagas have documented, the Ramayana and the slaying of Ravan. After many struggles, Ram finally defeated the 10-headed Ravan and rescued Sita. So remember, kids, don't be fooled by shiny appearances, peel back the layers and understand the truth before taking a step. Before fulfilling every wish, we should understand its consequences. This tale is one that children all over the world have grown up with, and it teaches us valuable lessons about life and of the good versus evil. Bye-bye, kids. Subscribe to our channel Namaste Nani to hear more beautiful tales of culture.
Nani ji, it's story time. What will you tell us today?
Today, children, let me tell you about the story behind the great Indian festival, Diwali. Once, in the times we refer to in our scriptures as the Treta Yuga, there lived a just and kind king named Dashrath. He was blessed with many children from his 3 wives. But he particularly adored his crown prince, the eldest child and the son of Queen Kaushalya, Ram. Dashrath's wife, Kakai, under the sway of one of her depraved helpers named Manthara, wished that instead of Ram, her son Bharat would take over the crown. Kakai had previously saved Dashrath in a battle against the Asurs and was promised 2 boons by Dashrath. In a bid to promote Bharat's interests, she ended up asking Dashrath to announce Bharat as the crown prince in place of Ram. She also asked Dashrath to exile Ram from the kingdom to spend 14 years as a forest dweller. Ram is regarded today as the embodiment of idealness. On learning of his father's turmoil, he volunteered to fulfill the promises his father had made and embarked on a 14-year-old journey. His wife, Sita, and brother, Lakshman, accompanied him onto an exile that would with time feature one of the greatest wars our sagas have documented, the Ramayana and the slaying of Ravan. Dashrath could not bear being separated from Ram and demised shortly after. Even Bharat could not stand the thought of overthrowing his brother from the kingdom. For the 14 years, when Ram was exiled, he served his duties, whilst maintaining and paying respects to Sri Ram's Padukas, kept symbolically on the throne of Ayodhya. 14 years passed, and Ram, having fought and slayed the great Ravan, came back to Ayodhya with Sita and Lakshman. The people and the royal palace of Ayodhya were overjoyed with their king coming back after a long separation. They illuminated and decorated the whole of Ayodhya with lamps and fragrances to welcome back their king and celebrate their victory. To this day, we celebrate Diwali to signify the victory of good and determined intent over evil intentions, and to welcome Sri Ram into our hearts and lives. Bye-bye, kids. Subscribe to our channel Namaste Nani to hear more beautiful tales of culture.
On a good summer evening, kids giggle on the woven mat, eyes wide with anticipation to hear stories.
Get ready, little ones. Today I will tell you some interesting facts about Ayodhya Ram Mandir. Imagine a temple taller than trees and wider than rivers. This is what the Ayodhya Ram Mandir will represent, the largest temple in all of India. After approximately 500 years of anticipation, it is set to be inaugurated and open its doors on January 22nd, 2024. As per its design structure, the height of the temple would be approximately 161 feet, along with 28,000 square feet of area. Also, the mandir is completely made up of stones. Instead of using iron or steel, elements like copper, white cement and wood are used. Special bricks with inscriptions such as Shri Ram are used in the construction process. Some of these bricks have not been utilized for over 30 years, referred to as Ram Shillas, adding a historical significance to their use in the temple's construction. The temple also has unique features in the design. The temple will be a double story, where the ground floor of the temple will depict the life events of Prabhu Sri Ram, the story of his childhood, and the first floor will depict the Ram Darbar. The authorities have also placed a time capsule 2,000 feet deep into the ground right below the temple. This time capsule carries information about Lord Ram and Ayodhya, his place of birth in Sanskrit. It is called Kal Patra in Hindi. The main purpose of placing a time capsule is to protect the identity of the temple so that people don't forget it in the future. So kids, Ram Mandir is not just about the past, it's about the future. And like Lord Ram's message of love and kindness, it's a treasure to be shared, not just in the present, but across generations. So go out there, and when you do, remember the love, the devotion, the magic woven into every stone, and let the spirit of Ram guide you toward a brighter tomorrow. Bye-bye, kids. To hear more beautiful tales of culture, subscribe to our channel, Namaste Nani.
Nani ji, it's story time. What will you tell us today?
Today, children, let me tell you about the story behind the Indian tradition of Bhai Dooj. Bhai Dooj is a special day that celebrates the bond between brothers and sisters. Bhai means brother, and Dooj is the term used for Luna. There are two stories of brother-sister companionship that are believed to be the origin of this celebration. Remember how, in the story of Choti Diwali, Shri Krishan, along with his wife Satyabhama, defeated the Asur Narkasur. On this day, after the battle with Narkasur, Shri Krishan visited his sister Subhadra, who was overjoyed at seeing her brother. She happily welcomed her victorious brother with sweets and flowers. She expressed her joy by applying a tilak on his forehead, marking the start of a special celebration of the bond between a sister and a brother. Another story is linked with the son and daughter of Surya Dev, Yam and Yamuna. It's said that Yamuna had extended several invitations to her brother to visit her home. However, Yam could not answer the invite, despite many efforts from Yamuna. One wonderful day, Yam finally visited his sister's home. Overjoyed to see him, she warmly welcomed him. Yam, touched by her warmth, happily asked his sister if there was any special wish she wants to be fulfilled. Yamuna asked Yam that he visit her every year on this day, henceforth, and that, on this day every year, the sisters who place tika on their brothers' foreheads and treat them with respect, their siblings will never be terrified of Yam. Yam remarked Tathastu to his sister's heartfelt wish. Since that day, Bhai Dooj, also known as Yam Dwetiya, has been celebrated to mark the eternal bond of love between brothers and sisters. Bye-bye, kids. Subscribe to our channel Namaste Nani to hear more beautiful tales of culture.
One night, when Nani was lighting a bonfire for Lohri in their veranda, kids wondered and asked,
Nani ji, why do we celebrate Lohri?
My sweet little bunches, today I will tell you why do we celebrate Lohri. In the sun-soaked land of Punjab lived a rebel named Dullah Bhatti. He wasn't just any man, he always helped the poor and fought against the bad guys. Back then, greedy landlords called zamindars treated the villagers unfairly. They took all their food and money, leaving everyone hungry and sad. Dullah couldn't stand seeing this happen. So he gathered a band of brave friends and formed a secret group called the Robin Hoods of Punjab. One day, two sisters named Sundari and Mundari, the daughters of a poor farmer, were in danger. A mean zamindar wanted them to marry him, even though they didn't love him. Scared and desperate, Sundari and Mundari's father ran to Dullah for help. Dullah, being super clever, came up with a brilliant plan. He dressed up as a singer and snuck into the zamindar's grand wedding procession. With a wink and a whistle, he signaled his friends, and together they rescued Sundari and Mundari. They whisked the sisters away and helped them marry the kind and honest men they truly loved. News of Dullah's daring trick spread like wildfire, warming the hearts of everyone except the greedy zamindar. And so, whenever people light bonfires and sing songs on Lohri, they remember Dullah, a symbol of hope, fighting for fairness and celebrating new beginnings just like the crackling flames of Lohri. So kids, the next time you hear the dhol drums beat at Lohri, remember Dullah Bhatti and spread kindness wherever you go. Bye-bye, kids. To hear more beautiful tales of culture, subscribe to our channel, Namaste Nani.
On one fine morning of Basant Panchami, kids worshipped goddess Saraswati and then went to the rooftop to fly kites with their Nani. They asked,
Nani ji, why do we celebrate Basant Panchami?
My sweet little bunches, once upon a time, the world was a quiet place. Everything existed, but nothing spoke. The birds couldn't sing, the wind couldn't whisper, and even the rivers flowed silently. This saddened the great creator, Lord Brahma. He felt the world needed something special, something magical, a voice. One beautiful spring morning, as the sun began to paint the sky with warm colors, Lord Brahma sprinkled drops of magical holy water on the earth. Suddenly, a magnificent lady appeared before him, dressed in white and holding a golden veena. This was goddess Saraswati, the embodiment of knowledge and music. Brahma told Saraswati of his sadness. The world is beautiful but silent. Can you bring it to life with your magical veena? Saraswati smiled and gently strummed the strings. As the sweet melody filled the air, something incredible happened. The birds chirped, The wind rustled the leaves and the rivers gurgled happily. The world was alive with sound. With each magical note, the creatures learned to speak. The animals found their voices. Humans discovered the power of words, and the world bloomed with laughter, stories, and songs. Spring has truly arrived, not just in the weather, but in the hearts of all living things. From that day on, Basant Panchami, the beginning of spring, became a day to celebrate Goddess Saraswati and her gift of voice. Basant Panchami marks the beginning of spring, a season of new beginnings and fresh life. The days get longer, the weather gets warmer, and flowers start to bloom. People offer her yellow flowers, symbolizing knowledge and light, and wear yellow clothes to represent the warmth of spring. So kids, next time you hear the wind whistling, the birds singing, or your own voice speaking, remember the story of Basant Panchami and the magical Veena that filled the world with sound and joy. Bye-bye, kids. To hear more beautiful tales of culture, subscribe to our channel, Namaste Nani.